What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for stopping by the channel once again today. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is May 3rd, 2022. I am JD from New York, as always, coming to you from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Tuesday afternoons, wherever you may be. Roderick Strong could be finished with the WWE. Roderick Strong has asked for his WWE release, with more news coming out in the days following Friday that WWE will be releasing NXT talent for right now every 90 days, and a main roster budget cut list that's already looming over everybody. We're just waiting for the official announcement. You know what's going to be happening. Roderick Strong has asked to be let go from his WWE contract. Fightful noted yesterday that Roderick Strong has asked to be let out of his WWE contract. The report states that he asked for his release multiple times over the last several months. It's worth noting that just because someone asks for their release does not mean it will be granted. It was also noted in the report that NXT sources said a name change was pitched for Roderick Strong, as he was opposed to the idea, and rightfully so. I mean, he's been there for 6 fucking years. Why would you even attempt to change his name? That right there is grounds for asking for your release, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm Roderick Strong. Many in the company were surprised that he wasn't included in the last round of releases, since he has asked to be let go already multiple times. Strong has been in NXT, like I said, for 6 years, and there is no indication that he's main roster bound. So he may be somebody that sees the writing on the wall with all the changes happening in NXT. In addition, his wife, Marina Shafir, now works for AEW, and obviously all of his best friends, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, they are all regularly featured on AEW television in the Undisputed Elites. Roderick Strong is 38 years old, another major factor as to why he's never going to make it on the main roster. His chances at making it on the main roster are 0, but the report states that WWE sources are saying that there are no plans to release him because they have creative plans in place all of a sudden for Roderick Strong on NXT 2.0. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Roddy's a game changer. I am going to sit here and tell you that pound for pound, Roderick Strong is probably one of the best pro wrestlers that the company employs right now on all 3 brands. Roderick Strong is somebody that you could put in there and have him wrestle a match of the year classic any day of the week. You put somebody in there with Roderick Strong, they're going to be a made man. Roddy is the type of guy that's not going to be a game changer. He's not going to be a world champion. He is going to be somebody that is going to go in there and make everybody that he is in the ring with better. That's Roderick Strong. I don't know what this ageism situation is about in WWE at 38 years old. You know, I mentioned this on the podcast Sunday night. Look at Santos Escobar. He's 38 years old. You mean to tell me that there's no money to be made off of Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma? There's no money to be made off of somebody like Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong is somebody that you could put in there with a Tommaso Ciampa, a Mustafa Ali, an Austin Theory, a Ricochet, a Shinsuke Nakamura, an AJ Styles, or anybody that fits that mold, and have him be of great value. Roderick Strong does add value, but WWE are too fucking lazy to do anything with the talent that they have at their disposal. You put him in there for an Intercontinental Championship, you put him in there with a Austin Theory for the United States Championship, and you mean to tell me that you ain't gonna get banger after banger after banger? I don't understand this. Roderick Strong obviously has his weak spots. He's not a good promo, and he has 0 charisma. I can see why people are gonna be, oh, let him go. Who gives a shit about Roderick Strong? And WWE probably is in the same boat as those people. But there is value for somebody like Roderick Strong on television. Don't tell me that there isn't. Not a game changer by any means, but somebody like that could be of great value wherever he ends up. A name change. I don't really get the name change. Why are you thinking about changing his fucking name when he's been Roderick Strong on NXT television and has been a leader of this brand on television for most of the time that he's been there, has been in some of the biggest factions in pro wrestling, And he's led this brand with Undisputed Era as Roderick Strong. Now you want to change his fucking name? He goes through coming into NXT as Roderick Strong, through Undisputed Era as Roderick Strong, in Diamond Mine and Cruiserweight Champion as Roderick Strong. This guy's held tag team championships, North American championships as Roderick Strong. Now you want to change his fucking name and further insult the intelligence of the blithering idiots already watching this shit. No. I would have asked for my release if somebody came to me and said, yeah, you've been here for 6 years, but we need to change your name. No. He knows the writing is on the wall just based on that one aspect by itself. I don't blame him for asking for his release. Not once, not twice, multiple times he's asked for his release. That is fucking ridiculous. He sees everybody around him that is his same age being let go. He sees the writing on the wall. He's not stupid. He sees what his friends are doing over in AEW. He wants to be over there. He's not stupid. They probably already putting in a good word for him to Tony Khan. He is not stupid. Malcolm Bivens was let go. Diamond Mine is no more. And you saw the writing on the wall just based on how WWE treated Diamond Mine. Ivy Nile got taken off TV. She hasn't been on TV in months. Where the fuck is she? She's wrestling on NXT Level Up. She's not on NXT 2.0 on Tuesday nights anymore. And that's somebody that I said, wow, she looks good. She looks good. I want to see her more on TV. She hasn't been on fucking TV in months. WWE's vision of Diamond Mine was the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed, and that's it. Roderick Strong was a non-entity. Malcolm Bivens was just there. He was Malcolm Bivens. Ivy Nile was taken off TV. I haven't even seen Ivy Nile with the group. Rarely have I seen her with the group. She'll be there and then she won't be there. She'll be there and then she won't be there. But they say they have plans. Oh, yeah? You got creative plans for Roderick Strong? Yeah, that's a great one, man. Bruce, you're a fucking comedian. You got creative plans for Roderick Strong. Really now? Really now? If you had creative plans for Roderick Strong, that means you have creative plans for Diamond Mine. But Malcolm Bivens is gone. So if you had creative plans for Diamond Mine, you let Malcolm Bivens go. You don't have creative plans for fucking Roderick Strong. You have creative plans all of a sudden because you don't want him to go anywhere because you know exactly where he's going to end up if you do let him go. And he sits out his 30 days in NXT, right, with that non-compete clause. He's going right to TK. He's going right to the Undisputed Elite. WWE are the biggest fucking babies, the biggest group of petty fucking cocksuckers that I've ever seen, man. And it's becoming more and more apparent as we get older. Week by week, we see this shit. And the attitude on WWE is ridiculous. Roderick Strong is somebody in the report that they said is 100% professional. He's taken what they've given him. He's been very open-minded towards creative ideas. He's worked within their boundaries, knowing that he doesn't fit the mold. And this is how you want to treat him and disrespect him? He asked for his release because management knows he doesn't fit the mold there, age-wise, in-ring style, and everything else that's going on with NXT 2.0. He is not what you want anymore. Let him go. You've gotten rid of everybody else and will continue to do so when nobody's left to go, right? Nobody's left to be let go. Why don't you let him go now? Oh, that's right. It's the AEW effect all over again. This didn't stop you before. This didn't stop you from wanting to change Adam Cole's name and not put any effort to sign him. Didn't stop you from letting Bobby Fish go. Didn't stop you from just fucking embarrassing Kyle O'Reilly on TV, having him job out to Von Wagner, right? What's the difference now with Roderick Strong? You're being petty pricks. That's it. And if I'm Tony Khan, and this is the last thing I'll say about this, they should let him go. They should find value in him and use him in areas on the main roster that desperately need it, like the mid-card, like I told you. But that won't happen because WWE doesn't have a vision like most of the fans do. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at this Roderick Strong impending release. He probably will be let go. I do think that they will let him go. He's not sitting out the 2 years. I feel like Ali and how they're already treating him on the main roster. They only brought him back to TV to embarrass him. Next round of budget cuts, he'll be let go. But WWE, as far as Roderick Strong is concerned, they know exactly where he's going to go. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at getting Roddy into the company and having all of the Undisputed Era on television. The Undisputed Era was one of the greatest factions that WWE has ever put together on their television program. They are one of the best factions in WWE history, led by Adam Cole. They will all be on AEW television. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at that as a big deal. These 4 guys led this brand for 2 years. They held every championship, every major championship on television at one point, and they led NXT and the Undisputed Era into several war games built around the Undisputed Era. They were the faction that everybody needed to take down on television, and Tony Khan possibly could have all 4 of them at his disposal. He could have one of the greatest factions that WWE has put together, Triple H, I should say, Triple H put together on his television show. That's a big fucking deal. And everybody with a right mind, with a brain, knows that Undisputed Era should be on television as a foursome, whether it's on Raw or on SmackDown. But WWE can't get over the fact that they're all indie and they're all midgets, and then they can't really embrace the fact that they had 4 great professional wrestlers there that all played off of each other so incredibly well. Tony Khan may be looking at that, and I think if he is, that's a pretty big fucking deal for him to get all 4 of the Undisputed Era members on his television show. This is a shame. He's not a game changer by any means. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be a world champion in WWE if he gets called up to the main roster. If he goes to AEW, he's going to be a world champion over there. He is, pound for pound, one of the best pro wrestlers in the entire company and makes everybody that he is in the ring with better. There's got to be a place for him on WWE television. They're just too fucking stupid to see it. Stu Grayson. Speaking of somebody that doesn't have a role on television anymore, Stu Grayson was removed from the AEW roster page. Stu Grayson of the Dark Order no longer, right now, anyway, with AEW. It was noticed yesterday that Stu Grayson has been removed from the AEW website roster page along with Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, and Jack Evans. But many fans were hoping that this was some kind of mistake. AEW does not make mistakes like that unless they are doing it per storyline like they did Wardlow, and they took him off of the AEW roster page to play into the MJF storyline. Nobody knew that Stu Grayson had a contract coming up. Unlike Stunt, Janela, and Evans, everybody knew that they were already leaving, but the same can't be said about Stu Grayson. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the Stu Grayson situation. It was reported that Grayson was removed from the roster page on AEW's website because he currently does not have a contract. The two sides were unable to agree on a deal to keep him with the promotion. Meltzer says the story that I'm getting is that his contract expired, which is the same as Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, and Jack Evans, whose name were removed from the roster page because their contracts expired. The only word going around is that they failed to come to new terms on a deal and an agreement. I don't know if that means that they are still talking or if it was one of those decisions made to not renew him. I don't really understand that. I don't really understand why you don't bring somebody like that back who you know's body of work with Evil Uno has been fantastic. Every time they're in the ring, man, they always do something that makes me specifically, personally go, wow, they're a great fucking tag team. I want to see more of them. They should be in the tag team title hunt, and they should be on TV a little bit more. The Dark Order, you know, it's one of the more popular acts in AEW, but they don't have a solid role on television. They were mixing it up with Adam Hangman Page, and they played into that whole storyline with Omega last year, going into Full Gear when Page won the championship. That was fine and well. But this year, we haven't seen much of the Dark Order at all really mix it up with anybody. So with Stu Grayson now, supposedly not with AEW, off the roster page, what does this mean for Evil Uno? What does this mean for Alex Reynolds? What does this mean for John Silver? I don't know. We may be looking at the end of the Dark Order in AEW. Stu Grayson is falling in line with everybody else that was a year one. We may see Evil Uno walk away, but Evil Uno is still a very integral part of the AEW streaming side of things, streaming games, and he does the things with Adam Cole online, and he does AEW games and all this other stuff. He's got a big presence online in that aspect. But we may be seeing the end of Dark Order as we see it on television. It's honestly run its course. There's really nothing else for it to do. And after Brody, passed away, there really wasn't much left for the group outside of the Hangman storyline because he was kind of, mulling about and depressed before he got to the Full Gear title match with Kenny Omega. And then when that was over and that ran its course there and we got Hangman as the champion, there really wasn't much for the Dark Order to do. But I can't really see why you wouldn't bring back somebody like that and pair him with Evil Uno and really make them a staple in the tag team division. I'd love to see them go for the tag team championships. Everything that they've done in the ring was fucking great. And I am a real appreciative fan of tag team wrestling. So I can't see how you don't find value in that. I don't. But it may end up being one of those situations where Tony Khan is sitting down and he's getting rid of most of the year ones that he doesn't need anymore. And unfortunately, Stu Grayson fell into that. I mean, we can't really argue that. We all know that they have a bloated roster, and we all know that some moves are going to be made to cut payroll before the next round of contract talks come into play with AEW and TNT TBS. But Stu Grayson, unfortunately, fell victim to the year ones like Marco and Janela and Jack Evans and everybody else that Peter Avalon and Kip Sabian. Who knows what the fuck's going on with those guys? You know, Penelope Ford. We don't know. We don't know. Also, we don't know. Stu Grayson may have been offered a contract. He may have been offered a contract by Tony Khan, and Tony Khan may have made the decision that he wanted to keep him. But he lowballed the offer. He didn't give Stu Grayson the amount of money that Stu Grayson thinks he wants or deserves. And Stu Grayson balked at it and said, no, I'm not coming back for that amount of money. I think I deserve a little bit more. So I don't know. We don't know what the situation is leading to. We don't know anything else about the situation. All we know right now is that he's off the roster page. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Stu Grayson should be a world champion or a tag team champion. He should go here and go there, and he's underutilized, and this is a big blow to AEW's roster. No, I appreciate somebody that has been on the roster for the last 3 years, and every time he's been in there, he's fucking killed it. They're mega over when they are on TV, and I feel like Stu Grayson is underutilized. I'd like to see him utilized a little bit more. He's too good not to. So we'll see what happens, and if anything comes out of this situation, I will let you guys know for sure about Stu Grayson. He did have his last match. If you guys want to go watch his last match, it was actually last night on Elevation, where it was a big 12-man tag with the Dark Order. So make sure you guys go check that out if you guys want to go get a live fan's perspective. Jesse does the watch-alongs on Tuesday and Monday for all of the Dark shows every single week. And finally, guys, there is a new AEW reality series coming to TBS. AEW slated to air a new reality series on TBS in the near future as the company sent out an email to AEW Ringsiders on Tuesday where they wanted feedback regarding a potential new name for the show. The series will follow AEW talent and document their lives on the road. The official synopsis reads like the following, courtesy of SEScoops.com, and I quote, AEW's top performers are ushering in a new behind-the-scenes wrestling series like no other. Every episode will track our core cast on the road at AEW events as they try to hold on to the titles that they have or win back the ones that they lost, with everything culminating at the biggest pay-per-view events of the year. They all hope to walk away champions, but there aren't enough belts for everybody. Heroes will rise, villains will fall, champions will be crowned with more access, more star talent, more drama than ever before. We'll see it all through the eyes of the biggest names in the company. This is similar to the plot of Rhodes to the Top, which focused on the lives of Cody and Brandy Rhodes before they departed from the promotion earlier this year for Cody to go to WWE. AEW shared the following suggested names for the new show on TBS, and I read as follows. AEW, Friends and Enemies, Fight to the Finish, To the Mat, Road to the Belt, Breakout, Grit and Glory, All Access, The Climb, On the Ropes, or Uprise. All Elite Wrestling nor TBS have publicly confirmed the series or when it may air on the network. I personally like the All Access name, as I think the other names there listed are kind of cringe and lame. I like All Access because you're getting an inside glimpse backstage at how everybody is kind of on that road to wherever they're going, whether it's Double or Nothing or All Out or Revolution. You got an all-access pass backstage where the fans don't really get that access. I like that name. I think that makes the most sense, and I think it sounds the best. It's got a nice ring to it. If you guys watch anything on AEW's YouTube page with the Rhodes To series, I think that type of stuff should absolutely be on television. I think some of that stuff should be actually integrated into the shows. Some of the segments and the promos and the vignettes that they air on there should be integrated into the TV show to sell certain storylines, depending on who is on that show and what the storyline is on television. Those are shot in such a phenomenal way that I don't know how anybody could sit there and tell me that AEW's production team is not on top of it. It's great. And it sells. And it sells whatever storyline that they're pushing on television. I want to see more of that on AEW Dynamite, man. It would give the show a brand new coat of paint. It'd give it a fresh feel. And if that is what I'm thinking for this series, that's going to be a winner. I love that inside scoop. I love that cinematic feel and that behind-the-scenes realism, dropping the fucking veil, dropping the curtain, giving an inside glimpse of the real-life fucking performer behind the curtain before they make it out to the ring. That's what I want this show to be. That's how I want it to feel. That type of stuff should be in a larger audience instead of being on YouTube, and I hope that is what the premise of the show is. If it is coming to TBS, that's what it definitely should be modeled after. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so very much for all of your support on this OTS Extra. Let's try for 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. You guys let me know what you think of Roderick Strong. How do you feel about his release? That's your homework tonight. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section. How do you feel about Roddy? Should WWE release him? And if they do release him, what do you think creatively is best for Roderick Strong? And do you see him on the main roster in a prominent way like I see for an Intercontinental title, a United States title, or somewhere in that mid-card where he could definitely add value? Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Again, hit that subscribe button down below for more WWE and AEW news. And I will see you guys tonight live. Not sure if I'm doing NXT. I may opt to do WWE 2K22, but I will keep you guys updated on Twitter, as always, to what I'm doing tonight live on YouTube from the OTS venue. Guys, enjoy your Tuesday night, and I'll see you tonight for something after NXT on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.